Good morning, students. So this is the numerical which we'll be seeing today. And in the last class, I had discussed this plan. I had explained you this plan and also a few details of the cross sections which are provided here. Okay. So that I had explained in the previous class. Let us just recall. So these are the quantities which have been told to right for us to estimate. Right. These are the quantities which we have to estimate. And then we had looked into the plan. It has bedroom and bath cum water closet over here. This is the passage. Then we have a kitchen over here and the living room. So we can see there are 9 number of columns over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, 9 number of columns, and the section of the column it is provided over here. You can see this entire thing is made up of M20 concrete, right? M20 concrete, and the size of column is 230 by 230 mm. Okay, it is a square column, and this is the footing which is provided for your column, and then there is PCC of 0.1 meter thickness. So coming to the cross section of your wall, okay, so wall it is 0.23 meter in thickness, okay, 0.23 meter in thickness. Floor to floor height is 3.2, and then there is this RCC lintel, which is provided of 0.15 meter thickness, and then we have a RCC roof of 0.1 meter thickness, and then this parapet wall is also 0.23 meter in thickness, so that reduces much of our calculation. Then we have this step foundation for wall, wherein we can see we have three steps. Okay, so first we have PCC of 0.9 meter width. Then we have our first step, which is 0.75 meter in width and 0.45 meter in height. Then we can see the second step is 0.6 meter in width and 0.45 meter in height. So this is up to ground level. So this is your foundation level. Okay, this is our foundation level, the bottommost part, right? Then this is a ground level, and above ground level is your third step, which is 0.45 meter in width and 0.3 meter in depth. So we have plinth concrete, like DPC, we have been given plinth concrete, right? So it is 0.15 meter in thickness, and this is the schedule of openings. Okay, so we have the D and D1 type of doors, 2 type of doors we have, and we have 2 type of windows and 1 ventilator. So these are the dimensions along with dimensions we have been provided with this schedule of openings. So moving on, this is your beam column plan. Okay, showing your positioning of your beams and your columns. Okay, so you can see these are your beams, and then you have 9 number of columns. Okay, so this is considered to be L1, right? Center to center from this level to this level. Okay, we will consider it as L1, and that distance we will calculate soon. And this part we will consider as L2. Okay, this from center to center, you can see it is from center going up to center of this point. So it is considered to be L2. So L1, you can see there are 3 in number, 1, 2, and 3, right? L1 are 3 in number, and L2 you can see it is 2 in number. This is one L2 wall, and this is also one L2 wall. Okay. So after these 3 are covered, we are left with these walls, right? 1, 2, right? So this is your L3. These 2 are your L3, and then this is this one wall is left out. So that is the wall between your water closet and your passage, right? Water closet and your passage. So we have covered all our walls. So L1, L2, L3, and our individual wall, which is this wall. So this will help us in calculation of our center line. Okay, calculation of our center line. So you can observe here, they have not mentioned any method to be used for calculation. So what we will do is, here we can see we will be using center line method. Okay, center line method we will be using for solving this numerical. Okay. So moving on to the next thing, the first thing that we need to calculate is the center line length of 230 mm walls. So all of the walls are 230 mm, right? All of the walls are 230 mm. So no need to anything like if there are different walls, we have to calculate differently for each of the walls. But all of the walls are same width here, so much of our calculation is reduced. So center line length, I've told you three L1 walls, right? So L1 walls are 3 number. This is L1 wall 1. this is 2, and then this is 3. So 3 number of L1, 2 number of L2, right, and 2 number of L3, and this one individual wall. So that is what is given over here, 3 L1, 2 L2, and L3 is here. Okay, L3 is where it is shown. So this is your L3 twin number, right? This is your L3, and this is your individual wall. So that is how you calculate your entire center line length. So let us look into what is the distance L1. Okay, what is the length L1? So you can calculate here. You can see the length is in length is 5.2. So you can add a 0.23 by 2 over here, half, and 0.23 by 2 half over here. So that will be equal to what? That will be equal to 10.43. Similarly, you can calculate for L2, right? It is 9.16, and similarly for L3. Okay, and then this individual also, this is half of the wall thickness here, plus in distance, plus half of my wall thickness over here. So adding all of this, you get a total center line length as 59.9. Okay, 59.9. So total center line length is represented as CL. Okay, it is represented as CL, center line, total center line length, CL. So now let us look into number of junctions. Okay, number of junctions. So first we have to look into column to wall junctions, because in the previous problems there were no columns, right? But in this numerical we have columns, and now we have to look into the number of junctions wherein columns are how many faces of columns are in contact with walls. Okay, how many faces of columns are in contact with walls. So that is represented by capital N. So let us just look into that. Here we have our plan, right? Starting from here, we will start from the bottom left corner. So this face is in contact with your, this column face is contact with your wall, right? So this is one. And then this face is also in contact with your wall, right? So this is 2. And then there is no wall here, then there is no wall here. So no need to calculate, no need to consider this part. Okay, so 1, and then this is 2. Then see, they have mentioned over here 1 and then 2. Now if you look into here, so there is a one face contact here, 1. So this is 3, this is 4, and then this is 5, right? So no wall over here, so do not consider this side. This face is not to be considered. So 3, 4, and 5. Similarly 6 and 7, you can see 6, this is 1, 6 and 7, and then 8, 9, 10, and then this is 11, and then this is 12. Then this face 13, 14, 15. Okay, then here you can see it is 16, 17. Then here only 2 faces, this face and this face, 18, 19. And then over here 20, this face is 20, 21, and 22. I hope this part is clear, wherein how you calculate the number of wall to column junctions. I hope it is clear. Wall to column junctions, I hope it is clear. So if you have, if you want me to repeat, I can repeat. Just let me know. So this is how you calculate your wall to column junctions. Okay, wall to column junction. So we have calculated it is how much.
Repeat, sir.
Okay, I will repeat. So you have to look into how many wall faces are in contact with your wall, right? How many column faces. So this is your column, right? This is the cross section of your column. So if there is one wall over here, okay, if there is one wall, so this face is in contact with your wall, right? So this is to be considered. Okay, and if there is one more wall over here, if there is one more wall, so this face is to be counted. But here, since there is no wall over here, there is no wall over here, and there is no wall over here, so these faces are not to be counted. Okay, only this face, this is 1, and then this is 2. Okay, so this way you have to calculate the number of columns, column faces which are in contact with walls. Okay, so one more example I will tell you. So if there is one more wall over here, okay, if there is one more wall over here, so we need to consider this face also. So this will be third face which is in contact with your wall. So third column face which is in contact with your wall. So this face need not to be considered because there is no wall over here. There is no wall over here. So this face is not to be considered. So let us just count once more. So this face is in contact with your wall, right? So this face is in contact with wall. So this is considered to be 1. And then this face is contact with your wall. So 2. Similarly, this face is in contact with your wall. So 3, 4, and 5. And there is no wall over here. So that face is not to be considered, meaning this face is not to be considered, this face of your column. We need to leave it out. So similarly, you can calculate for other walls, like this face is in contact, right? These two faces are in contact with your walls, this wall and this wall. So it will continue like 6 and 7, then 8, 9, 10, okay, and then 11, 12, coming down over here. So 13, 14, 15, and then 16, 17, and here only two faces, right? 18 and 19, and then over here 20, 21, and 22. So I hope it is clear. So total number of junctions are 22. Okay, column to wall junctions. That is what we have written here. Column to wall junctions number 22. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can let me know, or else we will move on to the next junction. So this is important, calculation of your column to wall junctions. Okay, so moving on to next, wall to wall junctions. Okay, wall to wall, the same thing which we have done in the previous numericals. We have to look for T junctions. We have to look for this type of junction, that is T junctions. But you have to leave out these junctions, okay, which you have already considered over here. So leaving this 22, okay, leaving this 22, you have to look into T junctions, except these 22 junctions, okay, except wherever you have considered this 22 number of junctions. Leaving this, if there are any T junctions left, you have to consider those. So look into your plan and tell me how many number of T junctions can you find. T junctions leaving out your 22 junctions which you have already considered. Okay. So that is mentioned over here. You can see. So this is one T junction, right? This is one T junction, and this is one T junction. So second, this is third, right? They have marked like 3 dash, and you can see. And this is your fourth, right? All of the other T junctions, like this is also T junction, but this is also already considered in your column to wall junction, right? So this is already considered. This is also considered previously in your column to wall. So we need not consider these two, okay, because they have been already considered in your column to wall junctions. So leaving out these, you can see we have 4 number of wall to wall junctions. 4 number of wall to wall junctions. So that is what is mentioned over here, and we mention it as N1. Okay, so this is a capital N and this is capital N1. So 4 number. Okay, I hope it is clear. I hope it is clear. If you want, I can explain once more if you want. Okay, so moving on. The center line formula, this is your center line formula which you usually use. No, this is your center line formula which you usually use to calculate your length, right? To calculate length, it is CL minus N into width by 2, right? Into width by 2. But since we have two junctions here, 1 and 2 type of junctions we have, so we need to consider 2 times the same formula. We need to consider 2 times, and this is for your this column to wall junction. This is for column to wall junction, and this is for wall to wall. Okay, remember this is for wall to wall, and this is not N. This is N1. Okay, this is N1. So this is N1, not N. So that they have not mentioned. So remember, this is N1. So this is what we will be using for calculating all the length. Okay, in our center line, all the lengths we will be using this formula. So let us just move on. So this is one method, right? This is one method to calculate, or else you can go for one more method, right? But we will not look into this method. This is a lengthy. You can see it is so much lengthy compared to your this formula. So we'll be looking into your numerical. You are using this formula itself. Okay. So if there is any doubt in this formula, you can let me know, or else we will move on to the tabular column. We will look into tabular column. Okay. So looking into a tabular column, always the first work that we look into is your earthwork in excavation, right? Earthwork in excavation. So here we can see they have divided all the work into 2 types, that is column and then wall, right? You can see it is divided into 2 types, that is column and wall. So separately we need to calculate for columns, and separately we need to calculate for walls. So you can see number of columns are 9. You can see in your plan the number of columns are 9, and for center line we always use, for walls we use it as 1. Okay, so coming to your length calculation of your columns, earthwork in excavation. You can see in your section how is the earthwork in excavation. It is like box section, no, excavation. So this is your plan view and this is your sectional view. That is what you need to excavate. So this is your ground level, right? This is your ground level, and this is the depth we need to excavate, and this is the box type or square type, that is your column footing that you need to excavate. So if you look into your section, what is the width and the width and the depth that you need to calculate? Can just anyone let me know what is this depth and what is the width and this height? What is the plan and what is the depth that is required for column footing? Yes.
Sir, 1.35 and 1, sir.
1.35 is what?
Sir, width.
So it is a square section, no? So it will be 1.35 length and breadth. So this is length, so it is 1.35, and this is breadth, which is 1.35. And what about depth? What about this?
Sir, 1, sir.
1 meter. How have you got 1 meter? Can you tell me?
Sir, ground level, sir.
From ground level. Yeah, okay, so it is 0.45 plus 0.45 plus PCC 0.1, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, correct. So that is what we have written here. So this is length, that is 1.35. This is your breadth, which is 1.35, and the depth, which is 1 meter. So you have got the quantity in meter cube. So for a wall footing, so for length, I've told you we need to use this formula. So it is CL, that is center line length, which we have calculated, minus N, that is 22, into width by 2. So this width is for, I've told you this part of the formula is for column, right? Column to wall junctions. So we need to use the width of your column. So width of your column at your excavation is how much? It is 1.35, right? 1.35. So that is what we will use here. And minus, so this is N1 is 4, and width of your excavation that is required for your wall. So wall excavation width, you can see in our section, it is 0.9, right? 0.9. The depth is same, 1 meter. So that is how you get your length. Okay, that is how you get your length. That is 43.25. That is what we have substituted here. So for length, you need to use this formula. So CL minus N into width of column excavation by 2 minus N1 into width of column or width of wall excavation by 2. So that is how you get your, so this part is for wall, okay, wall to wall junctions. So this part is wall to wall. This is for column to wall junctions. So this we will be using everywhere, okay. This width only will change, only this 2 widths will go on changing, and rest of the formula will be same, okay. Rest of the formula will be same, only this B values will go on changing depending upon what item you are trying to calculate. So moving on to PCC bed, it will be same. PCC bed will be same, right? You can see, just you can compare. So all of the values are same, only your depth will vary, right? PCC bed, you can see it is 0.1 meter in thickness. Here it was 1 meter depth, but here the PCC the thickness will be 0.1. So that is how you calculate your PCC. Rest all things are same because width will be same. So all the calculations will be same. Moving on to size stone masonry. In foundation. So first step, you can just observe in your section, first step for your wall footing, right? For your wall footing, you can observe. So 1 in number, always for center line, it is 1 in number. And how have we arrived at this L? So we will substitute that in the formula. So center line length 59.9, I've told you. And here you have to look into the width of your at the level of your column. Okay, let me just scroll up. So we are in the first step calculation. Remember, we are in the first step. So we are calculating this step. Okay, we are calculating this step. So width is 0.75. Okay, width is 0.75. Height is 0.45. So this is the height 0.45 and the width is 0.75. So what is the level of this step? So this step it is at a level of 0.9. Okay, 0.9. So at 0.9, you have to look for the width which is over here. Okay, width at 0.9. So width at 0.9 is what? Width at 0.9 meters is what? It is 1.2, right? It is 1.2. So this width we need to consider. So it is 1.2. So that is what we will substitute over here. You have to check for the level, and then you have to substitute that level, the width at that level. So this is the width 1.2 which we have substituted here, and then this is the width of your this thing here 0.75. that is width of your step. That is first step. and the height I've told you it is 0.45. So you can get the quantity in meter cube. Similarly for second step, so second step is at what level? It is at 0.45 meter level, right? 0.45 from ground level it is. So at that level, you have to look for the width in your RCC column, okay? Width of your footing in RCC column. So if you just look at 0.45 meter depth, if you look into the width of your RCC column section, it is how much? It is 0.23. It is 0.23. So that is what we have substituted here, 0.23. And this is your wall. That is your width of your second step. So that is how you get your L, second L. So similarly for third step, this is your third step. Okay, they have not mentioned here. So this is your third step. So similarly, you have to look into for third step. Third step is at a level of 0.3, right? 0.3. So at 0.3 level, if you just check what is the width of your column footing, so it is 0.23, same, it is 0.23, and the width of your third step is 0.45, right? You can see it is width is given here 0.45, and this is the depth of your third step, 0.3. So you can get your length, breadth, and height, and if you multiply all this, you get your quantity in meter cube. So this is how you calculate your size stone masonry. So if you have any doubts in calculation of this size stone masonry, you can let me know, or else we'll move on to the next. Okay, so we have calculated the size stone masonry in footing, in your wall footing, right? We have completed for wall footing. Now for column, okay, M20 for your column. So you can see here. So this is M20 concrete, right? For footing, column, lintel, and slab. So all of these are made up of M20, right? All of these are made up of M20 concrete. Hence, we have considered them under one section. Okay. So starting from your lowest part, that is your footing. Okay, starting from the lowest part, that is footing. So how many number of columns are there? 9 number of columns, right? So 9 number of footings will be required. And what is the width of your footing? Width of your footing, you can see in your section, it is 1.2 by 1.2. And the depth of your footing, you can see in your section, it is 0.45. So that is how you get your footing quantity in meter cube. So moving on to columns. Okay, how many number of columns? 9 number of columns. Yes. Okay. So moving on. So 9 number of columns. So what is the column size? It is 0.23 by 0.23. Right. It is a square column. Right. 0.23 by 0.23. That is 230 mm by 230 mm. So what is the height? Height of the column. So if you look into your section, so you can see height of the column will be starting from your RCC footing, right? Starting from your RCC footing plus floor to floor height, plus floor to floor height. So floor to floor height is 3.2, and your for footing, right? Your column goes up to your footing. So that also you need to consider. So that is a 0.45, right? So from ground level, it has to go up to your footing. So 0.45 plus 3.2, that is the height of your column. So that is equal to 3.65. So 3.65 is the height of your column, and that is how you get your quantity of concrete in columns. Okay. So moving on to lintel. Okay, moving on to lintels. So 1 in number, because we are considering a through lintel. That is all around lintel. We are considering all around lintel or a through lintel. So that is why the quantity is 1, and the center line length will be the same, right? 56.91, right? 56.91. That is how you calculate using the same formula, right? Same formula you can see here. L is the center line length minus 22, and this is the width of your column, and minus N1 into width of your wall, right? Width of your wall. So that is also equal to 0.23. So that is how you get your 56.91, which is written over here. So 56.91 lintel, and what is the width? It is nothing but your wall thickness, right? 0.23. And if you look into your section, the thickness of your lintel is given. That is the depth of your lintel. It is given as 15 centimeters, right? Or 0.15 meters. So that is how you get your lintel. Okay, lintel quantity. Moving on to slab. So slab is considered to be 1, right? Slab is considered to be 1, and this is your out to out slab distance. Okay, out to out slab distance. Okay, out to out. So if you just look into your plan, what will be the length? The length will be what? So if you consider, if you look into your living room, look into the dimensions of your living room. So the length of your living room is 10.2 meters, 10.2 meters. So for that 10.2 meters, you have to add wall thicknesses on either side, right? Wall thicknesses on either side, that is 0.23 plus 0.23. And that is how you get your length of your slab, that is 10.66. Now, breadth of your slab, to calculate, let us start from the top. Let us start from the top. So it is 0.23, that is wall thickness, plus 3.5, plus your wall, intermediate wall, that is 0.23, plus your living room breadth, that is 5.2, plus 0.23. So you get your out distance of your slab breadth, that is 9.39. And the thickness of your slab is mentioned as 0.1. Right. So slab will be what? This is your quantity of your slab. So that is 10 meter cube, 10 meter cube. So this is how you calculate your M20 concrete for footing, column, lintel and slab. Okay, footing, columns, lintel and slab. I hope it is clear. So if you have any doubts, you can let me know for the calculation of M20 concrete. Okay, so moving on. So next thing is our brickwork and superstructure, right? Brickwork and superstructure. In central line method, we will consider it as 1. Okay. And what about the central line length? Central line length will be same as your what we have calculated for lintel, right? It will be same thing. So central line minus 22 into your column width, that is 0.23 by 2, minus N1, that is 4, into your wall thickness, that is 0.23 by 2. So 56.91, and this is the thickness of your wall, and this is the height, that is floor to floor height. So you get your brickwork in superstructure. So coming to deductions, I hope deduction is, you know how to deduct all of this. So the same technique which we have used in the previous thing, right? Or in the previous numericals, by the same method, by assuming bearings, right? Assuming bearing 15 centimeters on either side, right? For lintels. But here you have a through lintel. So we need not consider this, because lintel is continuously running. It is a all around lintel. So deduction part I will skip. So it is the same thing same technique or the same method which we have used in the previous numericals. So you can calculate the net quantity, that is 33.16 by deducting from gross quantity your deduction quantity. You get your net quantity of your brickwork. So moving on to granite flooring. So this is your in-to-in distance of your living room, right? And then this is your in-to-in distance of your bedroom. And this is the in-to-in distance of your kitchen, which is given in your plan. Same thing we will substitute. And this is for your bathroom or your water closet. And then this is for a passage. So all of these are in your plan itself. They are given. So if you multiply just, you will get your granite flooring, and this is your total quantity. Okay, Aziz has a question that we have not considered PCC bed in calculation. Okay, why we have not considered PCC bed in calculations? So let us just scroll up and look into the new question which they have mentioned. Right, so they have told us to calculate PCC bed, right? PCC, but they have not calculated it in your tabular column. So let us just look into how we can consider. Right, we have considered, right? We have done. We have calculated PCC. PCC bed in what? In PCC bed in calculation, I am not getting exactly. So we have calculated the quantity of PCC bed in calculation. So if there is anything related to that, you can just let me know. So I am not completely understanding your question. Okay. So doubt is cleared. So PCC bed we have calculated. So that will be the same thing which is for a earthwork in excavation. So these quantities are same, but only our thickness will vary, right? Only this quantity will vary. Just told you. Okay. So I hope this part is clear. So moving on to next thing. So if you have no doubts, we will move on to next thing, that is your external plastering. Okay, external plastering we are concerned about. external plastering. Okay, and not about internal plastering. We have not been asked about internal plastering. So we will consider only external plastering. So they have mentioned 20 mm thick external plastering for walls, external plastering. So the first thing is your out distance. We have to calculate your plastering which is required for your walls on the outside, right? Out distance we have calculated it as 10.66, right? Length of your long wall, or length of your plot which you have constructed, and then this is your out distance of your breadth, right, of your walls. So this is your distance which you have mentioned over here, length, okay, length. And then the depth or the height, okay, height you have to consider. What height you have to consider? That is from 3.2, that is your floor to floor height, right? Floor to floor height plus your RCC roof thickness, right? Floor to floor height plus your RCC roof thickness, that is 0.1, plus your parapet height, right? Plus your parapet height. So that is how you get your depth. So this is the quantity of your external plastering. Then for parapet wall top, okay, this is, consider this as a parapet wall, okay, this is a parapet wall. So we have considered this, right? Let me just change color. So now we have considered this face, right? While calculating here, we have considered. So now we need to consider this top face. That is what we are doing here. And then we need to calculate the quantity or the surface area of this inside face, okay, inside face. So now how do you calculate this top face? So for this top face, we need to calculate the center to center distance, right? Center to center length. And then we need to, we can calculate the top width, okay, top width. So that is what I've mentioned here. This is the center line, okay, center line. So it is, how do we calculate this center line? So this is your out distance, right? Out distance, which is 10.66. Then if you minus half of your wall thickness over this side, right? And then there is parapet wall over here also. So half of your wall thickness on this side. So that is equal to 0.23 by 2. Half plus half is 1. So that is how you get 10.43, which I've mentioned here. And then similarly, you calculate for breadth. That is the 9.16, which is here. So 2 in number, always write 2 in number, because 10.66 wall is like this one, and then this is second wall, and then this is 9.39, and this is 9.39. So 2 number. So similarly here also 2 in number, and that is how you get your length. And I've told you this height, this width of your parapet wall is 0.23. That is what we have written here, and that is how we calculate the parapet wall top area, okay, top area. Then coming for inside area, so it, we have to consider in distance, right? In distance we need to consider. So for that 10.66, right? 10.66 minus 0.23 minus 0.23, that is, this is your out distance from here, right? So minus 0.23 will give you your in distance from here, and here also minus 0.23. So you get your in distance, right? This is your in distance that you get. So minus 0.23 here, minus 0.23 here. So that is how you get your in distance. That is 10.2, which we have written here. Similarly for width or breadth, you get it as 8.93, and that this is your length, total length. And this is your parapet wall height, right? This is your parapet wall height, this thing, parapet wall height. So you get your total external plastering, okay, total external plastering quantity, that is 200.11 meters squared, 200.11 meters squared. So if you have any doubts in this calculation, you can let me know, or else we will move on for the deduction part, okay, deduction part. If you have any doubt over here, you can just let me know, or we'll move on to the deduction quantities. Okay. So this is your gross quantity. So now we need to deduct for your openings, right? Deduction for your openings is required. So always for deduction, so for openings, what you have to do is number, okay, number of openings into number of surfaces, okay, number of surfaces that we need to deduct, and into your 50%, that is into 1 by 2. So remember this, number of your openings, number of openings, and the number of surfaces into your 50%. So coming to your door D, okay, coming to your door D. So the size of your door D length is 1.3 and the height is 2.1. Length is 3.1 and height is 2.1 meters. And looking into this calculation. So how many number of doors D are there? How many number of doors D? Externally doors, right? External we are considering and not internally. Only one door, right? Number is 1. And how many number of surfaces we need to deduct? Because we are only dealing with external wall, right? External wall plastering. So only externally we have plastered and not internally, right? Only one face we have plastered. So only one face we will deduct. Okay. And then this is 1/2, which is according to IS code 1200, only 50% we need to deduct. So that is what is written here. Okay. That is what is written over here. So moving on to external windows W, external windows W. If you just count how many are there, there are, I think, 3 number. Okay, 3 number. So similarly, you can write 3, right? Number of windows 3 and number of surfaces that you need to deduct is 1 and into 50%, that is 1/2. So that is what is written over here, 3 into 1/2. And this is the size of our window. Similarly, you can do it for W1 and for ventilators also you can do similarly, and you can get the total deduction quantity. And from gross, if you deduct your total deductions, you get your net quantity of your external plastering, that is 190. So it has reduced from 200 to 190. So I hope this is clear. So moving on to, I think all of the quantities we have calculated, whatever is required, right? So we are done with this numerical. So this is an important numerical wherein you have learned how to calculate all the important quantities, and this is how you calculate for your RCC frame structure. Okay, RCC frame structure. So if you want, we can solve one more RCC frame structure if you want as an extra in our extra class. Okay, so you can just let me know in your group if you want me to solve one more problem regarding this RCC frame structure. So we can have an extra class. Okay, so now moving on. I hope this is clear, and if you have any doubts, you can just let me know. I hope this this numerical is clear. Okay, shall we move on to the next numerical, or you need a break? You can just tell me if you need a break, or else we will continue with the next numerical, which is an interesting one. You can see it is a hexagonal room. You can see it is hexagonal. It is a very interesting one. It is completely different. All the calculations are a bit different here. Okay, should we continue? So let us just go through the problem statement. So plan and section of hexagonal room. Okay, so we can see it is a hexagon, meaning it has 6 sides. Okay, 6 number of sides. Estimate the following quantities. Okay, estimate the following quantities. So you can see we have to almost a quantity. How many number are there? 8 number. We need to all of these item of work we need to calculate or estimate. So from estimation from excavation and PCC bed, side stone masonry, dam proof course, brickwork, RCC work, and cement plastering work for inside and as well as outside, and then vitrified tile flooring. So quantity that we need to calculate, or the number of quantities may seem more. Okay, so 8 number may seem more, but it is a very short numerical. It is very short. All of these will be over quickly. Okay, all of these will be over very quickly. So the main part is your calculation of your center lines. Okay, main part is your calculation of center lines, and all the other things are very easy. All the other things are very easy because there are no junctions, right? No junctions, no long wall, short wall. All of this are not. We are not concerned. So the tabular column will be found very quickly. Only the main thing is calculation of your center lines, and that is very important. So you can see the in-to-in distance, right? In-to-in distance, which they have given, right? You can see here is 4 meters. Okay, 4 meters. So in-to-in side length is 4 meters. Okay, this length is 4 meters. So the center line I have shown as a red color. Okay, center line of this hexagonal room I have shown in red color. It has 1 door and it has how many? 5 windows. Okay, 5 windows. And the wall thickness is 0.3. Wall thickness is 0.3. And then this is your cross section, right? So DPC is 2 centimeter thickness. DPC is of 2 centimeter thickness. RCC roof is of 12 centimeter thickness. RCC lintel is 15 centimeter thickness. Then there is this projection right? RCC slab projection, and this is 0.45 meter in width, and it is 7.5 centimeter in thickness. So the schedule of openings is given for doors and windows. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and the this angle is 60 degrees. Okay, so this angle is 60 degrees. Okay, so it is 60 degrees. Then, okay, what I've done is I've taken this this part. Okay, I've taken this part and I've zoomed in. I've zoomed in and I've shown it over here. Okay, the same thing. This part I have zoomed in so that it is easier for you to understand, and I've shown it over here. So this is our center line length, right? Center line length from here, okay, from here to here. Okay, from here to here. For one side, okay, for one side. And if you multiply LM by number of sides, okay, into 6, you get a total center line length, right? It's total center line length. If you multiply by 6, you will get. So LM, or your what they have mentioned is it is your mean, okay, mean length, mean, or your middle. So we can mention it as center line or mean or your middle. So since it is at the middle part of your wall. So then this is your outside face of your wall, right? So this is your outside face of your wall. So this length is L1. Okay, we will consider this out to out length of your one side as L1. Okay, and then this is your L2. Okay, this is your L2. This is your L2. Sorry, this is your L2. So this is what this is. This dotted line is what this is your projection. Okay, this projection of 0.45, right? So that is what this they have shown. So this is your RCC wall projection, that is 0.45. So for 0.45, we will consider it as L2. Okay, so we need to calculate all of this, LM, L1, L2, all of this we need to calculate. Okay, so let us look into now the calculation part. Okay, so LM, first we need to calculate this LM. Okay, we will look into how we calculate this LM. Okay, so into in distance, we know it is 4 meters, right? Into in distance, this is 4 meters. From here to here, it is 4. So we need to add this part, right? We need to add this much, and we need to add this part. So it is 4 meters plus 2 L dash, okay, plus 2 L dash. 4 meters plus 2, because we have to add it on both the sides, okay, 1 and 2. So 2 into L dash. So L dash is what? L dash is this part. So how do we calculate L dash? So for L dash, this is the formula which we use, okay. This is for L dash, and this is for your into in distance, okay. Into in distance plus 2 into what is this 0.15. So from here we are moving till here, no? So from this part, right, from this surface, that is into in, we are moving to your center line, okay, to your center line. So what is this total? This is totally, it is 0.3 meters, right? So half of it we are moving. So this is 0.15. Okay, so 0.15. So that is what we have to write here. 0.15 divided by this angle, divided by the tan of this angle. So this is your formula. So you need to remember this formula. So if you multiply, you get the LM length. Okay, LM, the center line length, that is 4.17. So I've told you the total center line length will be number of sides into LM, right? Number of sides is 6 because it is a hexagon, right? So 6 into 4.17 is the total center line length, which we have got as 25.02, 25.02. So next, moving on, L1, we need to calculate for L1, right? We need to calculate now for L1. So similarly, like 4 meters, which is the into in distance, plus 2 into, only this value is changing, So how you got 0.3? So from this surface, right, this into in surface, we are moving to L1. Okay, we are moving up to L1. So what is this thickness? This thickness is 0.3, right? Wall thickness 0.3. So that is 0.3 divided by tan 60, which will give you your total out to out wall length. Okay, total out to out wall length. So into 6 if you do, you will get a total out to out wall length. Okay, if into 6 if you do. So outer chhajja, okay, for outer chhajja L2, okay, outer chhajja. Now this is your outer length of your chhajja, right? L2, we need to calculate. So similarly, the same formula we will use, 4 plus 2 into 0.75. So how have we got this 0.75? So from this surface, we will go up to this point. Okay, so it is 0.3 plus 0.45. So that the total width, that is we are going from here to here, it is 0.75. So 0.75 divided by tan 60 divided by tan 60, which is here. So you get a total length of your outer chhaja, that is 4.87. Okay. So now next thing is the area, floor area calculation. Okay, floor area calculation, area of your floor, right? This area we need to calculate. So into in area. So what we will do is we will divide your area into equilateral triangles. Okay, so this is one equilateral triangle which they have drawn over here, right? This is one equilateral triangle. Similarly, if you join over here like this, so it is made up of equilateral triangles. So this is 1, right? And then this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it is made up of 6 equilateral triangles. So that is what is written over here, 6 equilateral triangles. So if you calculate area of one triangle, right? Area of this triangle, and if you multiply it by 6, you will get the total area, right? You will get the total area. So what is the area of a equilateral triangle in the formula? Can you tell me? Anyone can tell me what is the formula of your equilateral triangle?
Half into B into H, sir.
Right. So it is correct. Half into base of your triangle into height of your triangle. Okay. So now base we have, it is 4 meters, right? It is 4 meters. But we need to calculate the height of our triangle, right? We need to calculate the height of a triangle. So how can we calculate the height of a triangle? Let us just look into here. So here they have mentioned, right? Height of a triangle. So height of the inside triangle. So that is what we are looking into, height of our inside triangle. That is from here we are calculating for this inside triangle, that is this triangle, into in triangle. Okay. So that is given by this formula, that is L sine 60 degrees. 60 degrees, why? Because this is 60 degrees, hence we are substituting 60 degrees. So L, what is L? Into in length is 4 meters, into sine 60, if you do, you get the height of a triangle as 3.46. Okay, 3.46. So now we have got here we have got height also. Then if you multiply it by number, right, number of triangles, that is 6 number of triangles, you get the total area of your into in area of your room. That is what is given over here. So 6 number of triangles into area of one triangle, that is 6 into half into length into height. So 6 into half into length, that is 4, and the height we have calculated as 3.46. You get your into in floor area, into in floor area. Next, area of slab. Okay, area of slab will be where, from where to where? It will be up to here, right? It will be up to here. That is out to out. Area of a slab will be out to out. So the triangle which we need to consider will be out to out triangle, right? It will be out to out like this. It will be out to out triangle. Meaning we have to consider what? We have to consider L1, right? We have to consider L1 as our base of a triangle, right? That is what I have shown here. So we need to consider this triangle, right? Up to here, we need to consider this as the base. Okay, this as the base we need to consider. So what is that length? It is 4.34. Base is 4.34, and we need to calculate now the height of our triangle. Height of our triangle we need to calculate. So for outside triangle, right? Outside triangle, meaning this triangle which you are concerned. So that will be L1 into sine 60. L1 is 4.34, which I've shown you here. L1 is 4.34 into sine 60, because this is 60 degrees, right? Internal angle. So we will get the height of our outside triangle, that is 3.76. So multiplying 6 into half into base into height, we get the area of our slab. The area of our slab we have got. So I hope this is clear. So this length is 4.34, and then this length is 4.605, and then this length is what? This length is 4.87. So this is what we have calculated, and I have written it down over here, so that it is easier for us to understand. So moving on to the next thing, that is we need to form our tabular column. So earthwork in excavation, right? Earthwork in excavation. So always we are using center line method here. Obviously we are using center line method. So the length I've told you, it is 25.02, which we have calculated, and then this is the width of your foundation. You can look into your section. If you just look into your section, the width of our foundation is what? It is 0.9. Okay, 0.9. And the depth of our foundation from ground level, it is 0.4 plus 0.5 plus 0.1, 0.15. So it is 1.05. So Athwaki, next question we are done. Similarly for PCC bed, these two quantities will be same, only the depth will vary. Okay, the PCC depth is what, or the thickness of PCC bed is 0.15. Okay. Next, size stone masonry, it is same method. So length will be same because no junctions are there, hence no deductions are required. No junctions, no deductions. So length is same, and this is the breadth, right? For first step it is 0.75. For second step, if you observe in our section, it is 0.6, and in the plinth, that is your next step, that is your third step. If you just look into that section, the width is 0.45, and this is your depth or your height of your steps. First step, second step, third step, heights are given over here. So this is how you get your size stone masonry quantity in meter cube. Then next, moving for damp proof course, 2 centimeter thick. Okay, so damp proof course 2 centimeter thick. So center line length will be same, center line no deduction, and the thickness or the width. So width of your damp proof course, if you look into your section, it is same. It is same as your third step, right? It is the same as your third step. Look into your section. The width of your damp proof course is the same as your third step. So it is 0.45, and we need not consider your depth of your DPC over here. No consideration of your depth because it is mentioned here. Okay, if it is mentioned here, we know we should not consider it over here. Okay. So it is in meter squared because only two quantities you are multiplying, so it will be in meter squared. So deduction for door sill. Okay, deduction for door sill, meaning this is your door, right? This is your door, and then this is your third step level, right? This is your third step level, and let me just draw the DPC, which is 2 centimeter thick. So this is your DPC, which is 2 centimeter thick, right? So now we have to deduct this part, right? Because at this door, we should not provide a DPC. So this part we need to deduct. So how we can deduct? So this length we have to take into consideration, right? This length we have to consider, and then the thickness of your wall, right? This thickness of our door, which is the thickness of our wall. So that is what you have to consider. So the thickness of our DPC is how much? The thickness of our DPC, it is 0.45. Not the thickness, I mean by thickness I mean width. Okay, width, that is B. Okay, so that is mentioned over here, and this is the length of your door, which is 1 meter. The width of our door, which is 1 meter, and then this is the thickness of our width of our DPC, which is 0.45. So this deduction we need to do from our damp proof course. So if there are 2, 3 number of doors, we would have multiplied here by 2 or 3. So only one door is there, hence we will deduct only once. Okay, next moving on to brickwork. Okay, moving on to brickwork. Length is same, no deduction in length. And then this is the thickness of our wall, 0.3, and this is the floor to floor height. Okay, floor to floor height, 3 meters. Next, for deduction, same thing you can do for your deductions. Okay, assuming 15 centimeter bearing for lintels, and you can calculate your deductions. From gross quantity, you have to deduct your openings and your lintels. You get your net quantity of brickwork. So you can see it is very easy, right? Only the center line length calculation is a bit tedious. So after that, formation of this table is very easy. So you can calculate, and you can make this table in a very few moments. So moving on to RCC work. So our slab is made up of M20 concrete. Then our chhajja is made up of M20 concrete, and our lintel is also made up of M20 concrete, right? M20 concrete. So for roof slab, okay, the area of our roof slab, okay, area for roof slab, which we had calculated, right? So the area is this part, okay, which we have already calculated, and into thickness we have to multiply, right? This is the thickness of our roof slab, which is given as 12 centimeters. So if you multiply, you get your total quantity in meter cube. Okay, this is your quantity in meter cube. This is your area into your thickness, so you get your quantity in meter cube. So next for chhajja, okay, for chhajja, what we have to do? We have to calculate the mean length. Okay, we have to calculate the mean length. and not the overall length. So what I mean by mean length, so it is 6 into mean length into width into thickness of chajja. So this is for chajja calculation. Okay, so remember. So this mean length, let us just look into this mean length. So it is 4.34 plus 4.87 by 2. So here, so it is 4.334, right? 4.34 plus 4.87 by 2. So you get your mean length, that is this length. Okay, we are calculating the centerline length for our chajja, centerline length for our chajja. So this is our this thing, right? So for this, what we need to do, so this is our into outside, this is your length for your out of our wall, and this is for your projection out for your projection. So if you take average of these two, you get your center line length, that is this length. Okay, so it is 4.605. So that is what we have done here. So 6 number, right? 6 faces we have. So what we have done, we have taken 6 number of faces into our mean length into your width, right? Width, and then your thickness of your chacha, thickness of your chacha. So this is the quantity in meter cube. Okay, this is the quantity in meter cube you get. So coming for lintel, okay, coming for lintels. So over doors and over windows. So one over door and 5 windows we have. So 1 and 5. So this is assuming your bearing. This is your wall thickness, and this is the depth of your lintel. Okay. So this is how you get your lintel quantities in RCC work. Then addition of all of this. Okay. You have to add all of this, add from here to here, and then you get your total quantity of M20 concrete required. Okay, 6.98, 6.98. Okay, so the last quantity which we will be looking into is your cement plastering work. So for outside wall, right, 6 number of outside walls, right, 6 number of outside, sorry, inside wall 6 number. Okay, so inside wall we are considering first inside wall 6 in number. Then this is your in distance, right, in distance of your wall, it is 4 meters, and this is a height of your floor, right, floor to floor height, which is 3 meters. So 6 into length into height, you get your total quantity of your plastering or inside walls. So for outside wall, what we will do, we will consider the center line length. So only one, and the center line length for out to out we have calculated is 4.34, and this is the floor to floor height. So you get your total quantity of cement plaster for our outside walls. So deductions, right? I'm moving on to deductions. Same thing which we have done previously. Same thing you can do, and you can calculate the deductions which is required, and then you can calculate the net quantity. So very easy, right? Very easy. Then for vitrified tile flooring, right? For tile flooring, so this is your hexagon, right? So tile flooring will be all in distance which you need to provide in area. So we had calculated that in area, right? By this formula, 6 into half into base into height. So 41.52. That is what we need to provide for tile flooring, area of tile flooring required. So this is your problem regarding a hexagonal room. Okay, hexagonal room wherein only this part is a bit complicated, and your tabular column formation is very easy. Okay, this part is very easy. Only you have to take care while calculating all these quantities. So I hope this is clear. So if you have any doubts, you can let me know. And also, if we need a break, you can let me know. You can have a break and then we can continue, or else maybe I will continue the next problem. So it is 11:35. So what we will do is we can meet at 11:40, right? We can meet at 11:40. So, but do not leave the meeting. Do not leave the meeting. Stay in the meeting itself, but you can have a 5 minutes break, and then we can continue with the next numerical. Is it okay? Okay, some of your friends have left. You can see there were around 32 people were there. So around 26 are left. So if I continue, many of you will start leaving. What we'll do, we'll have a 5 minutes break, but do not leave the meeting. Stay in the meeting itself. You can mute and you can keep. So we will meet at 11:40 exact. Okay, 11:40 exact. I will continue. Okay. So but do not leave the meeting. Stay in the meeting. We'll have a 5 minutes break. Okay, shall we continue? Many of your friends have left. I don't know why. Okay, so should we continue? Just let me know. So I have many of your friends left. I don't know. I've told not to leave the meeting. Okay. So let me just put a message in the group and then we will continue. So I hope you have that sketch along with you, this gable roof one, right? This thing. I hope you have that with you. So this is a unique problem you can see. You might feel it is difficult, but it is not difficult. Looking into the plan, if cross section, you might feel it is difficult. This is your plan, okay? This is your plan view. This is your sectional view. So this is a different type of problem wherein you have a steel roof, okay? Steel roof, like a gable roof, right? This is a gable roof, and not a regular slab, okay? So you can see you have a single room over here, right? A single room. So which is 5 meter in width and 4 meter in length. Okay, 4 meter in length and 5 meter in width. And then this is your veranda, right? This is your veranda. Okay, so this is your veranda. And then you have a column over here. Okay, there are no walls. No walls are there in your veranda. No walls. It is an open thing. And then you have columns. Only two columns, right? Only two columns here, one and here one. Okay, and then there is no no wall over here. Okay, this part is open. This is your veranda, and then this is your room. Okay, so then there is the steps. Okay, then the steps are provided. Okay, and then this is your this thing is your projection of your steel roof. Okay, projection of your steel roof. Which you can see it is not exactly up to here, right? It is going outside of your wall. So this is projected outside. So this is what is shown over here in this dotted line. Okay, in this dotted line. Then this is the projection of your RCC slab. This is the projection of your RCC slab, which you can see is here, right? It is projecting outside. So that is shown there. And then, okay, so this is about your plan. So this is all these walls are 30 centimeter in thickness. Okay, these walls are 30 centimeter in thickness. All of these walls, and then this columns or a brick pillar is 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter. Okay, 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter. So I hope your plan is clear. Okay, plan is clear. Now moving on to section. Okay, moving on to section. So starting from bottom. So this is your foundation PCC, right? PCC over here, which is given. Then this is your first step, and then this is your second step, going up to plinth. Okay, going up to plinth. Second step, going up to plinth, and then this part is filled with morum filling. Okay, morum filling. This part is morum filling. Okay, and this part is also filled with morum. So after that, there is this CC footing, which is CC flooring. Okay, CC flooring, 12 centimeter thick, 12 centimeter thick CC flooring. And then there is this wall, this thing you can see, this window you can see, because the section is provided over here. You can see the section is provided over here, and this is the section. So if you look at this side, you can see this window. You can see this window. This window is seen over here, and this is a 30 centimeter wall, right? 30 centimeter wall. This is a 30 centimeter wall, and there is a brick pillar. You can see brick pillar. You can see. And then over this brick pillar, you have this RCC beam. Okay, this is your RCC beam. Let me just zoom in. So this up to here is our brick pillar. Okay, this from here to here is a brick pillar, and this is your RCC beam. Okay, this is your RCC beam. The RCC beam will be running from this column to this column, right? From here to here, your RCC beam is running, and from here to here, your RCC beam is running, and then from here to here. Remember, okay? Or from column to column. Okay, but there is no wall over here. There is no wall over here. Remember that. Then there is a parapet wall provided over here. Parapet wall, right? So 20 centimeter brick wall. So this is 20 centimeter, and the height is 30 centimeter. Height is 30 centimeter. Then this is your RCC roof slab, right? RCC roof slab. with your projection inside your wall, right? RCC roof slab which is projected inside your wall. This is your bearing part, okay, bearing. Then coming up to your steel roof, let us just look into the details of your steel roof. So this is your common rafters, right? Common rafters which are provided over here. These are your common rafters. So the common rafters are 50 mm by 10 centimeter in thickness. Okay, 15 mm by 10 centimeter in width. 50 mm by 10 centimeter at 40 centimeter center to center. They are placed 40 centimeter center to center. Okay, 40 centimeter center to center. They are placed like this. Then this is your ridge. Okay, ridge which is shown in your plan also here. This ridge. Okay, you can see a ridge. A ridge is provided. That is the central part. Then that is 60 mm by 16. Let me just look into how much is that. So it is 50 mm. Sorry, 50 mm by 18 centimeters. 15 mm by 50 mm by 18 centimeters. 50 mm by 18 centimeters, and a common rafter. This thing common rafter is 50 mm by 10 centimeter. 50 mm by 10 centimeter. Then moving on to next thing, this top thing is your Mangalore filled roof, Mangalore filled roof, Mangalore tile roof. Sorry, it is not filled. It is Mangalore tile roof with battens. So this internal thing which you see over here are battens. So battens 45 mm by 25 mm. Okay, 45 mm by 25 mm at 35 mm at 35 centimeters center to center. 35 centimeter center to center. So this gable roof length, incline length is given as 2.7. Okay, 2.7, and then it is projecting outside. Okay, it is projecting outside this much. So this is 50 centimeter. Okay, this projection which is going, so it is 50 centimeter which is given over here. Then you can see eave boards are provided. So this is eave board. This is also eave board. Okay, so it is 30 mm by 20 centimeter. 30 mm by 20 centimeter. Then there is this wall plate which is provided for support for wall. So this is wall plate. Okay, wall plate is provided, and this wall plate is how much it is? 80 mm by 15 centimeter. It is 80 mm by 15 centimeter. 80 mm by 15 centimeter. So this is in mm and this is in centimeter. 80 mm by 50 centimeter. Also, there is this lintel which is provided, lintel of 20 centimeter thickness, and this is what is given in your section. Okay. Okay. So floor to floor height over here is how much it is? Floor to floor height is 2.5. Okay, 2.5. So this floor to floor height we can see it is given as 2.5, and this is 4 meters. Okay, from here to here it is 4 meters, and then this height. Okay, from here to here. Okay, this height, this truss height or the roof height is 1 meter. Okay, 1 meter. 1 meter. This is 1 meter. How we have got that? So from 4, if you minus 1, okay, 4 minus 1, you will get this 1 meter. Okay. So we will be needing all of these details while calculating. So we need to calculate all these quantities. Okay, all these quantities we need to calculate. It might seem difficult. Okay, looking into the cross section, you might feel it is difficult, but it is very easy. Similar to your previous problems, it is similar to that. It is not very difficult. Okay. So let us just look into your calculation part now. Let us just look into. So if you have any doubts regarding any of the section or any of the parts in the section, you can let me know, or else we will move on to the calculation part. Okay. So I hope your plan and section are clear. Okay, plan and section are clear. If you have a clear idea, it will be easy for you to calculate all the things. So what we will do is in this we will be using your long wall and short wall method. You can see we are using long wall and short wall method. Okay, long wall and short wall. So the long wall is 6.6 meter in length, 6.6 meter in length, and the short wall is 5.6, 5.6, 5.6. So how have we arrived at that? So 6.6 is out distance which they have given in your plan, 6.6. Right. Let me just show you here. Okay, you can see this is 6.6, which is your long wall from here to here. So this we have considered as long wall. Okay. And then this is your short wall. Okay, this is your short wall, which is from here they have considered from here to here. This is your short wall. So 6.6, and if you minus your wall thicknesses, if you minus your wall thickness, you will get your center to center length, right? Center to center, right? Center to center we have calculated for our long walls. Similarly, for short walls, we have to reduce wall thicknesses on either side. So minus 0.3 by 2 minus 0.3 by 2, you get your center to center length of your short wall, center to center. So this is to find the center to center length of our walls. Okay, so 6.6 minus 0.3, so 6.3, and 5.6 minus 0.3, it is 5.3. This is how you get your center to center length of your long wall and short wall. So I've shown you in plan which is your long wall and which is your short wall. I've shown you in your plan. So moving on to your tabular column. Moving on to tabular column. So the first thing is earthwork in excavation. Always you need to calculate earthwork in excavation. So we have divided it into long walls, short walls, and steps. Right. If you look into your plan, this part also needs to be excavated. Right. You can see. So this part needs to be excavated. Also, this part needs to be excavated. No. So this part is also need to be excavated. So I have considered this as steps, okay, because the excavation is needed for steps. So this part we will consider as excavation required for steps. So along with long wall, short wall, we will consider this excavation needed for steps. So we know center to center length is 6.3, right? 6.3, and if you add your width, that is 0.8, you get your long wall length, right? 7.1, and long wall are 2 in number, and short wall are 3 in number. Short wall are 3 in number. So why the short wall is 3 in number? If you look into our plan, so let me just zoom out. Okay, so this is your plan. So short wall, long wall are 2 in number. Clear? I hope it is clear. So this is one long wall, right? Starting from here, going up to here, and then this is your short wall going up to here, from here to here, and then this is your short wall. This is your short wall 1, and then this is your 2, and then this is your 3. So I hope it is clear. So short walls are how much? Short walls are 3 in number. So long walls are 2 in number, and short walls are 3 in number. So that is what we have written here. So steps we are considering it as 1. Step we are considering it as 1.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in veranda there is a no wall, no, sir. Only column are there.
Okay, so this thing is for what we are doing. We are considering for excavation, no? Earthwork in excavation. So you can see here in your section, they have considered 1, 2, and 3. So we need to consider even if there is no wall over here. So even there is no wall over here, and there is no wall over here. So, but we need to excavate, right? We can see here they have provided foundation, right? They have provided
Yes, sir.
foundation. So that is why we need to consider this also while calculating your excavation and foundation work. Okay, but while
Okay, sir.
calculation of your brick work, we need to skip. Okay, while calculating brick work in superstructure, we need to skip this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I hope you have understood. So moving on to our calculation part. So for short wall, what we need to do, we need to reduce our width. That is how you get your length. And then this is the depth, which you can see in the section. And for steps, okay, for steps. So for steps, let me show. So what is the length? Length is 1.2 and the breadth is 1 meter. So you can see length is 1.2 by considering some certain amount of projection or your bearings. Okay, so what we do is this kind we assume certain projection. So this totally will be 1.2, and you can see the width. Okay, you can see the width, which is 0.9 from here to here. Okay, so it is 0.9 and 1.2, and the depth of foundation which is required is from here to here, right? This much we need to excavate, this much. So it will be, so what we will assume is, so you can observe here, let me just zoom in. So you can observe this is 15 centimeter thick, right? PCC bed which they have provided 15 centimeter, and almost at like this part we need to excavate, right? So they have not provided the detail of this part. So we will assume this total thickness as we will assume the total depth, the total depth as 0.15. Okay, depth that needs to be excavated 0.15. So 1 meter and sorry, here we are here. Okay, not there. Okay, we are over here. Okay, so 1 meter, I've shown you 1 meter, and then this is 1.2. So 1.2 by considering certain offsets, okay, by on the both the sides. So 1 meter plus 0.1 on one side and plus 0.1 on other side. So consider length as 1.2 and the width as 1 meter and the depth as 0.2. So the PCC bed I have shown you, it was given as 0.15, right? 0.15, and what we assume that thickness which they have not given as 0.05. 0.05. So the depth of our excavation required for steps is 0.2. So adding up all of these quantities, we get the quantity in excavation. We get the quantity in excavation which is required. So moving on to next thing, that is foundation, right? Foundation in long wall, short wall. Foundation in long wall, short wall. So number of long walls in foundation is 3. Number of short walls is, long wall is 2. Short wall is 3. And for steps is required is 1. Okay, so length will be same, breadth will be same, only the depth will be changing. Only the depth will be changing over here, right? You can see only the depth has changed. Over here also the depth has changed. So you can see the first step, which is of 20 centimeter. It is a foundation bed, right? Foundation bed. So the thickness is 0.4, right? The thickness is 0.4 and the width and length are same. Width and length are same, and only the thickness is varying. Okay, only the thickness is varying. So it is 0.4, and for steps it is 15 centimeters. So that is how you get our foundation in concrete. And then moving on to side stone masonry. Okay, side stone masonry. Then it is given in 2 steps. You can see your side stone masonry. Side stone masonry is in 2 steps. Okay, first step is of 0.5 meter in width, and your second step is for 0.4 meter in thickness. Okay, 0.4 meter in thickness. So we will consider separately for long wall. We will calculate separately for short wall, and then we will calculate separately for steps. Okay, so this is your first step. Okay, so long wall 2 in number. Okay, first step long wall 2 in number, and then for short wall 2 in number. For long wall again, for second step it is 2 in number. Okay, so I have told you the first step is 0.5 meter in width, and the second step is 0.4 meter in width. And then the depth of your first step is 0.2, and the depth of our second step, right? Depth of our second step is 1.15. Okay, 1.15. And to get the length, I've told you have to add your width for long walls. So what we have done, we have added 0.5 and 0.4 to our center line, that is 6.3. 6.3 we have added, and we have calculated the lengths. So if you just multiply all of this, you will get your side stone masonry in first step in long walls. Okay, in long walls, this is your first step and second step calculation of side stone masonry. Similarly for short walls, I have told you 3 in number. Short walls are 3 in number. So to get length, what you have to do, you have to reduce our widths, right? We have to reduce our widths, and that is how you get your length. So that is what we have written here. And then width and depth are same. Width and depth are same. That is what is on long wall. That is continued in your short wall also. So that is how you get your quantity in side stone masonry for short wall. Now moving on to steps. So if you just look into your section for steps, so how many steps are provided? 3 number of steps are provided. Okay, 3 number of steps are provided. So we have calculated this quantity, right? This quantity we have already calculated. First step and second step we have calculated. So now we are left out with this quantity, right? So this is your first step, right? And then this is your second step, and then this is your third step. So this is your first, this is your second one, and then this is your third step. So considering the dimensions that they have given for your steps, so it is 30 centimeter in like this is your tread, right? 30 centimeter tread and 20 centimeter height. And then this is 30 centimeter tread, 20 centimeter height, 30 centimeter tread and 20 centimeter in height, right? That is what they have given over here. So your first step will be this quantity I have shown you. This is your first step. So the length of your first step, right? So this is how much it is, 0.3 plus 0.3 plus 0.3, right? So this is your first step, which is 0.9 in your length, and the thickness, right? Thickness is how much it is, this rise length, it is 0.2, right? Height is 0.2. And what is the width? Width is 1 meter, right? Width is 1 meter. You can see it is given over here. So that is how you calculate for each of the steps, right? So 1 meter in length, I've told you. The height I've told you the width as 0.9, right? And the thickness of your step, or the rise of your one step, is 0.2. Similarly for second step, right? Similarly for second step, it will be what? 0.6, and the height is same for all the steps. Only the only the breadth will vary. Only these quantities will vary. Okay. Only these quantities will vary. Let me just draw a diagram once more. So this is 0.3 for first step, right? And then for second step, it is 0.3 plus 0.3, that is 0.6, right? And then for third step, it is 0.3 plus 0.3 plus 0.3, that is 0.9. And this is your third step. So this is how we calculate the quantity. And then we know the length of this is 1 meter. Okay, then this is 1 meter, right? So this is how we calculate the volume of your steps that is required. So this is your first step, second step, and then this is your third step, right? So this is 1 meter, then this is 0.9 for first step, and then this height is 0.2 meters for first step. For second step, this is 0.6, right? This is 0.6, this is 0.2, and then this so this is the same thing, that is 1 meter. And for third step, it is 0.3, 0.2, and 1 meter. So this is how you calculate for steps. I hope it is clear for calculation of steps. Now moving on to Muram filling. So Muram filling is where I've shown you Muram filling in your cross section. Right, this part is our Muram filling, right? So see, they have mentioned. So from here to here, this quantity which we need to calculate now. So this is for Muram filling, this quantity, and also here we need to calculate your Muram quantity. So you can just see we need to calculate Muram filling. So the length which we need to calculate is from here to here, right? It is from here to here. So this is your center line, right? This is your center line. This is your center line over here also. So we need to calculate in to in, right? In to in. We know this center line length. We know this center line length. And the center line length is, I think it is 6 point, right? It is 6 point. No, it is what it is from here to here, right? From here to here. It is so that from that quantity, from this center line, we need to reduce this half of this width, right? Half of this width over here and half of this width over here. We need to reduce. So the total width of this is 40 centimeter, right? 40 centimeter. So 0.2 and 0.2 we need to reduce from our center line. Similarly over here also, similarly for here also, same thing. Whatever the center line length is there over here, right? From there we need to reduce 0.2 and 0.2. Right, and that is how we calculate length. Similarly for width also the same thing we need to do. So
Sir, voice breaking, sir.
Voice is breaking. Okay, is it clear now? Is it clear now? Is it clear now? You can just let me know if my voice is clear now. Is it fine now? Is it fine? Is the network connection fine now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this Muram filling quantity, have you understood how you calculate the length, which I've explained now? I've understood, or should I explain once more?
Once more, sir.
Okay. So Muram quantity filling, I will explain once more. So just concentrate here. Okay. So this is Muram filling, right? This quantity we need to calculate. I'll just draw. So this is Muram quantity filling, right? So this is which is required. And then this is also Muram filling which is required, right? This is the quantity which we require. So the height we know it is 0.75. No problem in calculating the height or the depth. It is 0.75, which is clearly mentioned. So now we know the center length, right? We know the center line length here. This center line length we know from here to here of this room we know. And also for this veranda, we know the center to center length, right? This is the center to center length from here to here. But we can see Muram filling is into in, right? Muram filling is into in. From here to here, it is into in. So what we need to do, we need to reduce this wall thickness half row. We need to reduce half of this, and similarly, we need to reduce half of this wall thickness over here. So this wall thickness is 40 centimeter, right? Wall thickness is 40 centimeter. So from center to center length, we have to reduce 0.2 over here and 0.2 over here, right? That is how you get your into in length of your Muram filling. Okay. Similarly, we can do it over here. So from center to center length of your veranda, right? Veranda center to center length, you have to reduce half of your width over here and half of your width over here. So that is 0.2 and 0.2. Okay, from center to center length, you need to reduce. So that is how you get your length. And similarly for breadth, right? Length will be this. And similarly for breadth, the same technique we have to calculate. That is minus 0.2 and minus 0.2 for breadth of your Muram filling in this room. And for veranda also, breadth will be center to center length minus 0.4. So that is how you get your length and breadth, and the depth, you know, it is 0.75, which is clearly mentioned. Okay. So that is how you get your this Muram filling quantities. Okay. Muram filling quantities. That is how you get. Okay. So for depth, it is not 0.75 entirely. So they have given that there is 12 centimeter this thing, right? 12 centimeter flooring, CC flooring, right? 12 centimeter CC flooring. So what we need to do is we need to reduce that 12 centimeter CC flooring in height. So it is 0.75 minus 0.12, that is 0.63.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, into distance 4 meter ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರಲ್ಲ sir.
4 meter.
Sir, length
4
breadth ಹೆಂಗ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರಿ sir?
Which length?
Room veranda. Muram
Into
filling.
idri.
ಹಾ sir.
So first you need to calculate center line. So center line length of this. So room is how much? 4 meter. No, it is 4 meter. So center line will be what? Center line will be from here to here. So you need to add 0.3, right? It will be 4.3. 4.3 minus 0.4. Okay, minus 0.4. That is how you get your length. And for breadth, how you calculate this is 5 meter, right? 5 meters. So center line length will be 5.3. 5.3 minus 0.4. So that is how you get your this Muram filling breadth. Okay, and this is your length of your Muram filling, and height I've told you it is 0.75 minus this 12 centimeter thick CC flooring, that is 0.63. So all of these quantities we have calculated, that is length, breadth and depth. So number will be only veranda. For veranda we need to calculate separately, and for this room we need to calculate separately. So I have told you how to calculate for room, and similarly you can do it for veranda also. No, similarly you can do it for veranda. So number will be 1 for room and number will be 1 for veranda. So I hope this Muram filling is clear. Okay, Muram filling is clear. So moving on to next, that is your brickwork. Okay, brickwork in superstructure. Brickwork in superstructure. So we will calculate for 30 centimeter wall separately, and then we will calculate brickwork for pillars. So pillars are also, or your columns that are in your veranda also, they are made up of brickwork, right? They are made up of bricks. So that also will come in this quantity only. And then there is this parapet wall which is provided, no, parapet wall. So that also needs to be added. So for 30 centimeter wall, so this I have marked it. So this is for room. Okay, this is for the room, right? So this is for the room. And in veranda there is no wall, right? In the veranda there is no wall, so veranda has been skipped. So number of long walls is 2 and number of short walls is 2, right? Because veranda we will not consider, so short wall will become 2 and long wall will become 2 in number. So the center line length is the long wall length is 5.6. That is, you add your wall thickness for a center to center distance, and the wall thickness is 0.3, and the floor to floor height is 4 meters, right? Floor to floor height is 4 meters. And for short wall, what you need to do, from center to center you need to reduce your width, and that is how you get your length. And this is the wall thickness, and then this is the floor height. So this is how you get for your walls, right? And then there is this gable end which we need to calculate. Okay, gable end which we need to calculate. So what is this gable end? So this is your, consider this is your wall. Okay, this is your wall. So we have calculated up to here, right? We have calculated up to here, that is 4 meters we have calculated. This is 4 meters. So, but if you look into your section, how is our roof? It is in this fashion. No? It is in this fashion. So we need to calculate this quantity also, this quantity. So this is your gable end and gable end. So how can you calculate? So half base into height you can calculate. No? So this is your base of your triangle, and this is your height of your triangle. So that is what is done, half base into height. Okay, so base is 4.6, right? 4.6, and then the height is 1 meter. I have shown you height is 1 meter of this, and the thickness of this wall. Thickness of this wall is 0.3. Okay, height. This is the thickness of your wall. And why is this 2 in number? Why is this 2 in number? Because this is at one side, and at the other side also there will be one more end, no? One more gable end. So this is your room, and this is your roof. So this is 1 and this is 2. So 2 in number. So you get your brickwork which is required in gable. So I hope this gable is clear. So pillars, pillars are 2 in number in your veranda. Two pillars are given, and they are of 0.3 by 0.3, okay, of dimensions. And the height of your veranda is 2.2. Okay, 2.2. Veranda height is 2.2. So you get our pillar quantity. Next, moving on to parapet. So how you do calculate your length? I have shown you it is out to out, that is 5.6. Okay, parapet wall you can see in the section which they have provided. It is given at your outer end, right? It is given at your outer end. You can see it is given at your outer end, and it is not provided centrally, right? So what we need to calculate, center outside we will calculate, out to out will calculate. So out to out is 5.6, right? 5.6 parapet wall. So 1 meter. So this is 1. So height is 1. Let me just draw and show you why it is 1 in number. So this is considered to be your one long wall, parapet wall. And then this is your short wall, which are 2 in number, right? 2 in number, which is your short wall. No need to provide wall over here, right? Because already there is a wall for your room which is constructed over here. So this is not considered. So only 1 long wall and 2 short walls, okay? On 2 short walls and only 1 long wall. Only 1 long wall and 2 short walls. So length which we'll consider, out to out will consider for long wall, and for short wall we will reduce our wall thickness, right? We will reduce our width, which we have done in all of our short wall calculations. So for short wall, it will be 2 meters, which is your veranda length, right? 2 meters minus your wall thickness of your parapet wall. So it is 1.8, and this is your wall thickness of your parapet wall. And then this is 0.3 meters. 0.3 meters is the height of your parapet wall, right? Height of your parapet wall. So that is how we calculate the entire gross quantity of our brickwork, gross quantity of your brickwork. So deduction, the same method you can use and calculate the deductions, right? Same quantity, same method we will use, and you can calculate the deductions, and no change in this method of calculation. So you can calculate the net quantity of your brickwork. Net quantity, that is 22.93 meters is the net quantity of brickwork which is required. Okay, so any doubt in brickwork calculation, you can let me know. Any doubt if you have in brickwork calculation, you can let me know. Or else we'll move on to the next quantity. We'll move on to the next quantity, which is RCC. Okay, RCC work. Okay. So moving on to next quantity, that is RCC work. We will look into this RCC. This is same like how you have calculated your deductions. No? So similar way you can calculate this. So we'll look on to this RCC work, which is for your beams, right? Which is for your beams and for your slab. Okay, beams and your slab. So your beam, I've told you we have to provide beam. So this one beam you have to provide from column to column, right? This is from column to column, one beam, and then this is your other 2 beams. Okay, other 2 beams. Then totally 3 number of beams. So 1 number of long wall beam. So this is 1 long wall beam, and then this is short wall beam, which is 2 number. Okay. So what we can do. So this is your length of your beam. This is your length of your beam. So we have considered this from this part to this part. Okay. This is your column, right? This is your column. So from face to face, we have considered your long wall. And for short wall, what we have done is we have considered for short wall the entire length. For short wall, we have considered from this part up to this part. Okay, so this is how we have calculated the length of short wall. This is for short wall, and this is your long wall, which is like into if you consider. Also, you can consider the opposite way, right? Normally what we do. So this is we consider for long wall, and for short wall we will consider only this one. That way also you can calculate any of the two methods you can use to calculate the beam quantities. Okay, for this beam quantities. So the depth of your beam is 0.3, and the thickness of your wall is also 0.3. So that is how you calculate for your beams. Now moving on to slab. Moving on to slab, 10 centimeter RCC slab, right? 10 centimeter. So it is the 7.2, length is 7.2, and the breadth is 3 meters. So how have we arrived at this 7.2? So 2 into 0.8, 2 into 0.8 plus 2 into 0.3 plus 5. So we will look into what is 0.8 and 0.3. Okay, we will look into what is this 0.8 and 0.3. Okay. So we need to calculate this, right? This is your RCC roof, right? This is your RCC roof, which is provided. So this out is what 5. So this is what, this is how much? This is 5.6, 5.6. So plus this projection, okay, plus this projection, which is 80 centimeters. So that is 80 centimeter over here, and this is 80 centimeter over here. So that is what 2 into 0.8, which they have written over there, 0. Okay. And then this we need to calculate length, right? This length we need to calculate. So this is also 0.8. This projection is also 0.8, which is given here. So that also we need to consider the 0.8. And then this length from here to here, it is 2 meters, 2 meters. And then this is 5.6. From here to here, it is 5.6. So your entire thing from here to here is your slab, okay, RCC slab, okay, which they have shown over here. So why they have considered inside over here, why they have considered this, they have considered as a bearing, okay, for your slab. Okay, it is going inside your wall as a bearing, okay, inside your wall. So this is your entire slab. Okay, I have drawn a rectangle, and if you calculate all these dimensions, that is from here to here, and then from here to here, which is 7.2 and 3.1. I have shown. Let me just erase. Okay. So you can see from here out to out, I have shown. From here, you can see from here to here, which is 7.2, right? And then this from here to here, out to out, which is 3.1. Okay, so that is how you calculate for RCC slab. And this RCC slab is how much mm in thickness? RCC slab is 100 mm in thickness, or 10 centimeter. Okay, 10 centimeter or 100 mm. So you have calculated length, breadth, and the depth also. Depth is 0.1, right? Length is 7.2, and the breadth is 3.1. Okay. And the number will be always 1. Number is 1. So you can get the quantity. Multiplying all of this, you can get the quantity of RCC work in slab. So I hope it is clear. So that is what we have done. So we have calculated all the RCC works. So we have calculated all the RCC works. If there is any doubt in RCC work, you can let me know if there is any doubt in RCC work. No? Okay. Then last quantity will work out, that is woodwork, and we will finish up today. Okay, last quantity will calculate, that is our woodwork for roof, and then we will finish up. So for wall plate, okay, wall plates are provided. I have shown you where wall plates are provided. They are 2 in number, right? 2 in number wall plates are provided, and the length is 5.6. Okay, they are running like this. If this is your roof, right? If this is your roof from here to here, so wall plates are provided over here, right? Starting from here, going up to here. So 2 number of wall plates, and the length is 5.6. So this length is 5.6. Yeah, this length is 5.6, and they have provided the dimensions of the wall plate. The wall plate dimensions, let me just check. Wall plate dimensions that they have provided is 80 mm by 15 centimeters. Okay, 80 mm by 50 centimeters. So that is what we have written here. 0.08 into 0.15. So I hope a wall plate calculation is clear. So this is in meter cube for wall plate. Next, common rafter. Okay, common rafter, 2 in number, 2 and 18. Okay, 18 and into 2, 18 into 2. So how this 18 is got is this length of your common rafter, right? The total length, it is 6.6, which you need to provide, divided by the spacing for 40 centimeter center to center, okay, which they have provided in your section. So common rafter is provided by like this. Let me just show you. So this is your common rafter, right? This is your common rafter, and you can see it is provided 40 centimeter center to center, 40 centimeter center to center. This is your common rafter, right? The bottom part which is there. This is your common rafter, and it is provided along your width. Let me just zoom out. So our common rafter needs to be provided like this. No, it is starting from here, going up to here, like this. It needs to be provided. So these are our common rafters, right? So this spacing is what? This is 40 centimeter center to center. Okay, and the length which they need to provide, the length we need to provide is 6.6. Right. So this is one, and this is your second. So it is 18 into 2. Okay, 18 into 2. So this is for one side and this is for the other side of a gable roof. So center to center, sorry, it is not starting from here, it is starting from here. Okay, it is starting from here and ending over here. Okay, ending over here. So if we divide this 6.6 divided by the spacing, that is 40 centimeter, you get that is total 18 number of common rafters which is required on one side. Okay, on one side it is 18, and on the other side it is another 18 number required. So it is 2 into 2. Okay. So 18 into 2 we have calculated. I've shown you how we have calculated. So plus 1 we have to do, and we will get the number. And 2.7 is the length of your common rafter, right? Length of the common rafter, which is given like this, 2.7, right? This is 2.7, and this is another 2.7. Okay, so we are calculating only for one side. So 2.7, and this is the size of our common rafter, which is given, size of our common rafter. So similarly, you can calculate for ridge. Only ridge is provided over here, right? Ridge is provided over here, only 1 in number, right? Ridge is only 1 in number, and the length is 6.6. Length is 6.6, and this is your ridge dimension. Okay, ridge dimension, and these are your eave boards. Eave boards are 2 in number, and they are running as like a ridge. Okay, let me just show you where your eave boards. So this is your eave boards. Okay, these are your eave boards which are provided over here, right? 2 in number, and they are running like this from here, starting from here, going up to here. So this is 6.6 meter in length. Okay, 6.6 meter in length. From here we have to start and we have to end till here. So 2 into 6.6 into the size of your eave board, which is 30 mm by 20 centimeters. So you can get the quantity of your eave board. Okay, so I hope all this calculation is clear. So with this, we will stop over here. So you can start typing in your attendance, and along with that, if there is any doubt, you are free to ask. We are left with a few more quantities which we will finish up in half an hour in the next class. Okay, not much is there, not much is left out. We will almost finish up that with in the next class in half an hour. So you can start typing in your attendance, and if there is any doubt, you are free to ask. So I think this is your last numerical regarding your calculation of your quantities, right? This is the last numerical. So after this, we will look into how you calculate the reinforcement. Okay, how do you calculate the total reinforcement which is required, right? You have to produce your schedule, right? You have to produce your bar bending schedule, right? So this is how you produce. So we will look into how do you produce your bar bending schedule. So this is your last numerical. So after this, we will look into this bar bending schedule, calculation of your reinforcement, okay, in beam, slab and footing, okay, beam, slab, footing, and also in columns. Okay, so we are left out with this, and once you finish up with this, we will be done with your first module. So in this week, we will try to finish your first module, okay. This week we will try to finish up with your first module. And if you want me to solve any extra numericals along with this, if you want me to solve any extra numericals, you can let me know. We will take extra class for that, okay, if you are interested. So with this, I think we can end the session here. It is almost 12:26. Okay, if you have no doubts, we will end the session here.